Hey y'all, it's HansETX. Now my good friends over at Outdoor Legacy Gear, they asked me if I wanted to test out a new scope. They said this is going to be one of the hot sellers for the year. This is the brand new Flir ThermoSight Pro PTS233, and we're going to check it out right now.
Baking pancakes, making bacon pancakes. Take some bacon and I'll put it in a pancake.
Now, as we go through the scope, I'm going to give you a chance to look all around it. You're going to get a chance to look through it, see what the images look like. We're going to do a fair assessment of the actual quality, the performance of this scope, and I'm going to run down the specs and everything that's included in with it. So just to run down real quick, this is considered a budget scope at $2,200. Now, don't let the term budget fool you, because this is a very capable scope. But just to run down the specs, it's a 1.5 to 6 times magnification scope. It's a 320 by 256 boson thermal core, 12 microns, 60 hertz refresh rate. It's got an internal video recorder. It's a fixed focus, so you cannot adjust the focus on this lens. And it's also a 19 millimeter objective lens on this thing. So we're going to get a chance. We're going to walk around this thing, take a look at it, and then we're going to look through it. All right, so we're going to get up close and personal with this thing. We're going to walk around it and kind of get a sense and an idea of what the different buttons do. But first of all, I want to let you know it runs on 2 CR123A batteries. I've run with this thing for a week and haven't had to change out the batteries. Now, depending on the cold weather or you know, the temperature outside, it may run the batteries down a little bit more. But you know, it seemed to work as far as battery life. I'd say, you know, 4 to 6 hours or so, which isn't bad. And that is not scientific, but that's just what I experienced here. You know, you've got your on-off dial. You've got a standby setting and an on setting. You've got your battery where you put your batteries in right there. And just the top, I mean, it's really a simple setup. It's made to be able to access and find what you need in the complete darkness, and we're just doing it really based on feel. Got your menu button. You've got your different side and up buttons that can adjust your brightness. You know, we went through the menu to see how you change that through the menu settings, but there's a lot of different changes that you can make to the you know, to the reticles, to your color palettes just on the top here through this. But you know, take a look at the mount. You know, you got a kind of a quick release mount set up here that, you know, fits right, nice and easy, nice and snug, never came loose, never had an issue with it getting sighted in and getting off sight. So, you know, this is just a look and a walk around the scope. You know, you can mount you know, an external battery pack on the side here if you for longer battery life. But we're gonna get a chance again. We're gonna look through some different color palettes at a group of hogs right now. All right, so I'm gonna go through the kind of the main menu of the Flir ThermoSight Pro PTS233 here. Kind of go through a little bit of the different color options, color palette options, as well as kind of picture modes that are preset in here, and just give you a chance to look through the menu. My focal point right here is going to be the pile of rocks and this old truck right here. But first of all, I'll go through the different color palettes. Right now, I was on Black Hot. This is called Rainbow. We've got Iron Bow, Sepia, Arctic, Outdoor Alert, and White Hot. Now, and I'll give you a chance towards later on in the video to see what it looks like when there's actually something, an animal or something, how it lights up and the way it looks. But those are the different color palettes that you can choose from. Really, I scan in White Hot. I like to take shots in Black Hot just because the picture to me aesthetically looks really good. But I do like to scan in White Hot because it's pretty easy to identify, especially on the edge of these woods out here and stuff. That White Hot stands out, and the contrast is pretty good. So the main menu, just to go through here a little bit, the enhancements. There are some preset picture modes that you can choose from. This is outdoor, and really for the demoing of this scope, I didn't change any of the brightness or contrast. Usually I do whenever I'm using a scope, depending on the weather conditions, the temperature, as well as the humidity. But for the demoing, I just kept it on outdoors because to me that was what looked best outside under the conditions that I was hunting. But you can choose from outdoor. The default, as you can see when you change it, the contrast, sharpness, smart scene, gain, AGC speed, they all change whenever you go through these different modes. But sky, sea, indoors, you can see there's some minor changes in the pictures, but nothing really drastic. If you have any questions about smart scene or gain or AGC speed, what that is, just comment to the video below, and I'll go through that and answer any questions that you have. But I just wanted you to get a chance to see the enhancements within the PTS233. So we went through the palettes, different palette choices that you can look and choose and shoot with. Reticles, I mean, there's a lot of different reticles to choose from. I'll let you look. That was the center dot, line dot, crosshairs. You can have none, and you're like, well, why would you have no reticle? This is really neat for filming in third person. And if you make videos, if you're a YouTuber, if you like to edit and put stuff together, and you like to film other people shooting, you'd like to do it without a crosshair or a dot in it. So really, that came in pretty handy when I was using this, and really liked that option. Cross dash, just the plain cross, just one dot, and the cross center dot, that's what I use. That's what I prefer, but everybody has their different choices. You've got your bore sighting. That's where you go inside the scope. Windage, elevation. If you have any questions about this too, I can answer that when you comment to the video. But the scope was very simple to set up and to sight in. Nothing too drastic there. Your recording option, to record, I'll show you how to record, but basically you just double clicking a button here on top of the scope and it starts to record. If you double click it, if you click it once, it'll take a still shot picture. You have your shot counter, and then you have your settings option. So your rifle profile, if you mount it on different rifles, you got your left margin, top margin, pre-shot record. If you want to record based off of taking a shot, and some other different things in here. You got your factory reset and all that. But that's your menu, your main menu. I mean, the scope is pretty simple to set up, pretty simple to use. Really, you're ready once you get this thing out of the box and you sight it in. It's pretty much ready to go. So I just wanted to walk through the menu options with you, the different color palettes, and the shooting picture images, the presets in there. If you have any questions, looks like there's a rat or something in that rock pile. But if you have any questions about any of the particulars, this is just an overview of the scope. But if you have any questions about the particulars, just comment and I'll definitely get back to you right away. But we'll walk through and I'll show you some more pictures with this scope on some actual animals and some hogs. All right, so you got a chance to look around the PTS233. You've looked through it, you've got to see some images. We kind of went through some of the settings on the menu. And really, I just want to spend a brief amount of time to talk about what I like and what I don't like. And I'm going to start with the things that I didn't like about it. And I'm going to tell you, for a $2,200 budget scope, it's not that much. Really, it does have an internal video recorder. It does not record audio. For somebody like me that creates content and creates hunting videos, it makes it a little bit more difficult because I'm having to add and splice audio from a recording device like my cell phone and mix it in with the video. So that does take a little bit of time. It's not very fun to do, but really for the $2,200 budget scope, that's not much of a big deal. It's a fixed focus lens. You can't focus it, so you're not gonna get that very, very crisp picture that you could with a higher end scope. And also the 19 millimeter objective lens is kind of small. You're not going to get that big image that you would with a lens with a bigger diameter. But this is for a $2,200 scope. and I know that you're able to see the images, and we went through that before. The picture is really good, and I'm going to go through the things I like. The picture quality is good. I sighted it in. The sight-in process was easy. The functions, the button functions at the top to control at night. We're doing this stuff all at night. Very simple and easy to manage. The mount, very quick and easy, kind of a quick release mount here that you can pop it on and off pretty easily. But really, the picture quality, and again, I keep going back to the budget scope term, for a $2,200 entry-level thermal scope from Flir. It's a great scope. The picture is very good. And like I said, I've dropped a lot of hogs with this in the last 2 weeks. All right, we got a chance to look at the PTS233. You've looked around it, you've looked through it. You may say, you know what, that's great, but I want a little bit more. I want to let you know something. In spring 2018, Flir is coming out with 2 new additional models on top of this. They're coming out with the PTS 536, which is going to be a 4-power to 16-power magnification with a 50mm focusable lens on this thing. And they're also going to come out with a PTS 736, which is a 6-power to 24-power magnification lens, and it's going to have a 75mm focusable lens. So you're going to have 2 additional choices if you're wanting something bigger and better than this. Now, if you want to check out this scope, check out the link in the video. Go over to outdoorlegacygear.com. You'll be able to pick it up there. Like you said, you can click through the link and get right over there. But I appreciate you taking a look at this. If you have any questions, please comment to the video and I will respond right away. I've had a blast with this thing. I've dropped a lot of hogs. There's going to be videos coming out in the weeks to come with some of these hog kills with this thing, and you'll get to see more images through it. So I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please do so. If you want to see more videos, you can click over here to subscribe. Click here, and please check me out on Instagram at HansETX. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.